Yeah?
Yeah. Okay, I guess we're on. Well, hello there. We are Michael and Nell, and we're going to play a little show for you here that we call Music for a Better World. And we'll be singing and playing about issues that are affecting our world today, situations. And Nell is going to introduce the first song.
Well, the first song we're going to do was written by Steve Earle. It's the only song we're going to do tonight for you that we didn't write, but it is a song called Jerusalem. And with everything that's going on in the Middle East, especially between Israel and Gaza, there was no way we could not do this song. So it is the lead song on our album, Welcome Home. It's the first song. And so it's a great song because it's a hopeful song. It visualizes peace in the Middle East. What a concept. How about that? Anyway, here we go with Jerusalem.
I woke up this morning and none of the news was good. Death machines were rumbling across the ground where Jesus stood. And the man on my TV told me it had always been that way, and there was nothing anyone could do or say. And I almost listened to him. Yeah, I almost lost my mind, and I regained my senses again. Look into my heart to find that I believe one fine day all the children of Abraham will lay down their swords forever in Jerusalem. Well, maybe I'm only dreaming, and maybe I'm just a fool, but I don't remember learning how to hate in Sunday school. But somewhere along the way I strayed, and I never looked back again. But I still find some comfort now and then. And the storm comes thundering in, and I can't lay me down, and the drums are drumming again. And I can't stand the sound, but I believe there'll come a day when the lion and the lamb will lie down in peace together in Jerusalem. There'll be no barricades then. There'll be no wires or walls, and we can wash all this blood from our hands and all this hatred from our souls. Yes, I believe there'll come a day when the lion and the lamb will lie down in peace together in Jerusalem. Yes, I believe one fine day all the children of Abraham will lay down their swords forever in Jerusalem. Yes, this is our hope. Okay, we're going to do a song now about a situation that's been happening really all over the country for about the past 40 years. And it came to a head up in a manufacturing plant near Indianapolis, where this was around 2-3 years ago. Individual number one went up there and gave the guys and the gals a pep talk, telling them that their jobs were safe, they didn't have to worry about a thing. And the next thing that happened was boss called a meeting.
This is what really happened.
This is what happened. 2, 3, 4. Boss called a meeting, so we had to go. Said they're moving the plant to Mexico. We all heard the rumors, now we know they're moving the plant to Mexico. All I've ever known is the blue-collar life. This union job fed my kids and my wife. I gave them my muscle, gave them my brain. Now I'm knocked to the ground by this runaway train. Losing my job, never felt so low. They're moving the plant to Mexico. How am I gonna pay all the money I owe? They're moving the plant to Mexico. I'm not against the Mexicans, they gotta eat. They're just like us, they're taking the heat. We're all getting burned, that's the way it feels. While billionaires in easy chairs make these deals. Indiana, Michigan, and Ohio, they're moving the plants to Mexico. What'll I do? Where will I go? They're moving all the plants to Mexico. Come to this. It's not just the money, but the friends I'll miss. I'll see some of the guys from time to time at the bar or the unemployment line. Boss called a meeting, so we had to go. Said they're moving the plant to Mexico. Politicians' promises are all for show. They're moving the plant to Mexico. Politicians' promises are all for show. They're moving the plant to Mexico.
Yes, ain't it that true?
Boy, ever. Okay, we're going to change up a little bit here. Now, Nell is going to do this next song on the piano. And it's a little thing called Queen for a Day.
No, it's Displacement Blues.
Oh, I didn't read that right, did I? No,
We'll get to that other one here in just a minute.
Yeah. That's what I get for not wearing my glasses, right? And this is the Displacement Blues, and well, I'll say a little bit about this. This is another situation that's been going on in this country for a very long time, and it has to do with the downside, the very downside of what we call gentrification. All the major cities in this country have been going through this, and a lot of people have been facing with the displacement blues.
And I wrote this song about our block here in East Nashville. I just looked out the window a few years ago at what was going on over here, and this is the song that I wrote. And I just want to mention that the moratorium on evictions is going to be ending pretty soon. And unfortunately, if something doesn't happen real soon, we're going to see a lot more people who are evicted and possibly homeless. So we're still facing a severe housing shortage, a housing crisis of affordable housing, not just in Nashville, everywhere in the whole country, really. So this is called the Displacement Blues.
There were jams at twilight on my street. Those banjos and fiddles sure sounded sweet. I used to love this old town, but now I can't I can't keep up with what's going down. They build skinny, ugly houses, cookie cutter style. You can't fix that with granite tile. Some people say greed is good till it wheels and deals in your neighborhood. Single mom's got the displacement blues. The landlord got an offer he can't refuse. They towed her car off to the pound. Now I can't keep up with what's going down. If old Aunt Nellie were still around, he'd say we're living in another bourgeois town where poor folks just keep losing ground. You know I can't keep up with what's going down. Gonna pack my bags and move along. Detroit City might like my song. Won't sell my soul to stick around. You know I can't keep up with what's going down. Yeah.
All right.
Okay, now, Queen for a day.
Well, this song came out of me living in another city, namely Los Angeles, where I lived for a while before I moved here to Nashville. And I used to live in Echo Park, which was the barrio at that point. And I used to walk down Alvarado Street and see all these incredible shops, bridal shops, that the Hispanic women love, with all these elaborate bridal costumes. And this is the song that came out of that. It's called Queen for a Day. And I have to say I had the pleasure of writing this song with two wonderful national songwriters, namely Alice Randall and Pat Alger.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Okay.
yeah, goes like this. Alvarado Street, one Saturday like no Saturday before. Senora Garcia takes her Maria to the bridal store. Since her baby's first communion, she's prayed for this day to come. And she remembers years ago when she was the one. Reina del Dia, queen for a day. White mantilla, satin and lace, two golden rings, and sweet wedding cake. Reina del Dia, queen for a day. Alvarado Street, it's Saturday. The church bells ring. Her mother swears if you listen, you can hear the angels sing. Like her wedding day in Juarez, when she was just 16. And for a moment she forgets all the hard years in between. Reina del Dia, queen for a day. White mantilla, satin and lace, two golden rings, and sweet wedding cake.
So we're going to switch back to the fiddle for this one. And this is a song that we wrote about a little dish that we have in Nashville that was started in Nashville. It's called hot chicken. And people come from all over the country to eat hot chicken in Nashville, and it's the craziest thing in the world. We have a hot chicken festival every year over here in East Park, and it was started by our former mayor, Bill Purcell, who shows up in the second verse of the song, riding his fire truck. And it started when a woman, Mrs. Prince, I'm going to say, just a wild guess, because that's kind of where hot chicken started with the Princes. Well, she was angry at her husband one day for cheating or being drunk or something or other, and the tradition in that household was chicken on the weekend for breakfast. So on this particular morning, when she was particularly perturbed, she decided to douse her husband's chicken with an ungodly amount of cayenne pepper. And you know what cayenne pepper does, it burns. So this was going to be her revenge for his misdeeds. And lo and behold, he loved it. He loved it. And this, therefore, was the birth of hot chicken, and it's become a major dish in Nashville. They have, I don't know, 10 to 15,000 people a year line up across this park on the 4th of July, one of the hottest days of the year,
to eat hot
to
chicken.
eat hot chicken. And it's
And there are also a bunch of hot chicken places that have opened up all over the city. And when our tourism is back in booming again, people will line up down the block to get hot chicken. It's just crazy.
It's wild. So Nell wrote this song, Hot Chicken. We played at this festival for 10 years. And out of that 10 years, we got this song. Plus a little hot chicken. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 99 degrees in Nashville, Tennessee on the 4th of July. If you want a little fun in the blazing sun, go ahead and give it a try. Hot chicken, burn, baby, burn. Hot chicken, learn, baby, learn. It's always a thrill when we see Mayor Bill driving that old fire truck around. When he rings that bell, we know darn well no finer food in Nashville can be found. Hot chicken, burn, baby, burn. Hot chicken, learn, baby, learn. Elections in the news, but don't you get the blues. If you wanna cure, here's what we recommend. Just take a little bite of this hot delight. It'll put all your worries to an end. Hot chicken, burn, baby, burn. Hot chicken, learn, baby, learn. Hot chicken, burn, baby, burn. Hot chicken, learn, baby, learn.
Okay.
Yeah, hot chicken.
Oh, by the way, that song is on our album too, our Welcome Home album.
Oh yeah.
And we have some great percussion on that guy.
We had a great percussionist
Blair, yeah, and him, boy, he really snapped to it on that tune. He had a big old, he had a big old time, and we love it. Okay, we're
Light
going.
in the Forest. I think we're up to Light in the Forest, and another song that Nell wrote.
I wrote this one with a man named Rick Swagoda. Interestingly enough, He is a former New York City cop who came to Nashville to write songs, and we wrote this song about Henry David Thoreau, which I'm sure a lot of you folks out there, you look like a very literate audience, know of him. He wrote the famous book called Walden, and he is considered sort of the father of environmentalism, and he was also he was a war resistor because he went to jail for 2 nights because he refused to pay his taxes for the Mexican-American War of 1846, which he considered an imperialist war, So he was way ahead of his time. And he also had a great influence on Martin Luther King and also on Gandhi for his civil disobedience. So this is a tribute to Henry David Thoreau, and it's called Light in the Forest.
Okay. Concord was growing in quiet desperation as you searched the woods for a simpler way. Pine for the fire and berries for supper and truth for the pages you wrote every day. You gave the world a light in the forest, simple reflections on wall and pond. You gave the world a light in the forest, destined to shine on the world beyond. Your hut by the palms now, a pile of rubble, where pilgrims contribute one stone at a time. For 2 years you lived there, alone in the forest. You made it your home, we've made it a shrine. You gave the world a light in the forest, simple reflections on wall and pond. You gave the world a light in the forest, destined to shine on the world beyond. You died believing your life was a failure, verses and journals all written in vain. But 100 years later, your light is still shining, and millions of people are touched by your flame. You wrote the book about simplified living, respecting nature, protesting war. You wrote the book about passive resistance that Gandhi would quote while he sat on the floor. You gave the world a light in the forest, brilliant reflections on wall and pond. You gave the world a light in the forest, destined to shine on the world beyond.
Okay, all right.
Light in the Forest, Henry David Thoreau, and a true American hero. We're going to move right along, and Nell's going to get back on the piano, and we're going to be doing a little tune that she wrote, once again, called Talking with Their Hands. And this is a song, as you might guess, about nonverbal communication. Musicians, builders, and the second verse is about a woman named Heather Whitestone. You want to talk about Heather?
Well, Heather Whitestone was Miss America, and I believe it was 1995, and she's a deaf woman, so she's one of, I believe, the only disabled person that was ever elected to Miss America, and of course, she talked with her hands. So that's who the second verse is about. So here we go. We're talking with your hands. Yes. Whoops, hold on. There we go. All right, here we go. He's always shy and quiet when you talk to him off stage. And when he strokes that fiddle, he's got a lot to say. Oh, he plays with soul and fire in a voice that must be heard. He'll make you cheer and make you cry and never say a word. He does the talking with his hands, coming from the heart, speaking so we all can understand. He's touching us, talking with his hands. In a classroom full of children who have never heard a sound, there's a beauty queen who dared to dream she'd someday wear a crown. Like them, her world is silent, but her story is full of hope. She tells of life will take them anywhere they want to go. She does her talking with her hands, coming from a heart, speaking so we all can understand. She's touching us, talking with her hands. A plumber and a lawyer, a waitress and a priest, all pitched in to build a house for a poor family. Oh, hungry, sore, and smiling by the time that they were through. Oh, they don't brag about their work, that's not what they do. They do their talking with their hands, coming from a heart, speaking so we all can understand. They're touching us, talking with their hands. Oh, they're touching us, talking with their hands. All right.
Yeah. So, next up, Barney's song. Another song that Nell wrote about a fellow that she knew quite well. Doing a little adjustment here.
Okay, here we go. He paid cash for his Pontiac, he never went in debt. The Great Depression's lessons he never We buy it all on credit, and when it's time to pay the rent, at the end of the month, all the money's spent. It's been 20 years since he passed away, but I look at his picture in my wallet every day. I wouldn't be here now, wouldn't be who I am, if it wasn't for the love of my old man. Yes, Daddy was a working man, a proud proletariat. He used his hands to earn a living, used his brain to fight fat cats. Be proud of who you are, hold your head up high, and always take a stand on the side of a little guy. And always take a stand on the side of the little guy. Just a second, folks. I'm going to show you a picture of me
Oh, yeah.
and Barney,
Yeah.
my father. Just a second.
Would you like me to get that?
No,
Okay.
you talk.
Okay, well, Nell grew up in San Francisco. Her father, Barney, was a plumber, worked for the city, is a union man, a strong union man. And Nell went to the Community Music Center. And Barney was an amateur musician. And at one point, this photograph was taken, which wound up being used as a publicity photo for the Community Music Center.
So that's me and Barney,
Yeah.
many,
She was
many years ago.
5 years old, and she hasn't changed a bit.
Anyway, just like to share that with you guys. It's such a great photo. Such a great photo. Such a classic photo.
Okay, now we've got, we have a song about another situation that has to do with immigration, and a group of people who are affected by a program that is known as DACA, Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals. And this has to do with people who were brought to this country as children, undocumented, and have mostly grown up here, but they're still living in fear and anxiety about the possibility of being deported. So
They're also known as the Dreamers.
The Dreamers,
The
yes.
Dreamers. And I just want to say that I heard an interview on the radio with a young lady during the election, in 2016 election. Now, she was a Dreamer. She went out and got a whole bunch of people registered to vote who voted and helped to flip Arizona into the blue column in the last election. And of course, she couldn't vote herself because she was undocumented, because she's a Dreamer. So that's what this song is about. And also, on my own personal experience, I went to Mexico in 1995 to see the effects of NAFTA, the North American Free Trade Agreement, on Mexico. And what I found out when I was there was NAFTA took away the communal land that the campesinos, the farmers, used to farm together, that they owned in their communities. They got rid of that because, of course, NAFTA wants to privatize everything. And so a lot of farmers lost their ability to earn a living because they couldn't compete with American corn when it came into Mexico. You know, we subsidize our farmers, and our corn is really cheap, and they couldn't survive. So that pushed migration into this country.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of our responsibility as a country for this migration. It doesn't get talked about very much, but.
right,
Anyway.
we call it an immigration problem. What it really is an American imperialistic problem, because we've just basically broken into these people's countries and taken their life away from them, taken their livelihoods away. And
Yep.
so they're coming here in hopes of having a life.
Yep,
And
yep,
it's
yep.
also gotten very dangerous in a lot of these countries. There's a lot of violence, a lot of murder going on down there in different Latin American areas. So this song is called No Man's Land. to find a better life. We crossed the Rio Grande, floating through the shadows to no man's land. Veracruz is the place where I was born. My family worked in the hot sun growing corn. When American crops flooded Mexico, we could not survive, so we had to go. Driven from our home, we crossed the Rio Grande. Now we're living in the shadows in no man's land. My father brought me here when I was 4. I've picked your fruit and swept up your floor. I stared at pictures in magazines. The promise of America filled my dreams. I want to plant my flag, but I don't know where I stand. Dreaming in the shadows in no man's land. So I live in fear of a knock on my door. Man says I can't live here anymore, taking me from the only life I've known to another country that's never been my home. To find a better life, we crossed the Rio Grande. Now we're hiding in the shadows in no man's land. The cards that I was dealt were not my choice. I was just a child, I never had a voice. I am just one story, there are many more like me, looking for the light, longing to be free. To find a better life, we crossed the Rio Grande. Now we're hiding in the shadows in no man's land. I want to plant my flag, but I don't know where I stand. Dreaming in the shadows in no man's land. Dreaming in the shadows in no man's land.
All right.
So we have one more song to do for you, and it's another song that Nell wrote about an issue for a lot of people called mountaintop removal. And if you're not familiar with this, it is a practice that has been going on for quite some time by the coal mining companies. And what they do is, rather than send miners into the mountain to extract the coal, they simply blow the tops of the mountains off and extract the coal in this fashion. And it creates several problems, one of which is defaces these beautiful mountains, and they wind up looking like the moon. They're just flat and no vegetation. Ugly. The other big problem is pollution. The sludge from these explosions travels down the mountains into the rivers and the streams and poisons them. And there's been quite a large incidence of cancer in the communities in these vicinities. that have been affected by this practice.
And I just want to say that if you've never seen a mountain get blown up, we have a video on our website. By the way, our website is michaelandnell.com. And if you would like to check that out, just go to our website and you can see our video that we made with our old band Shelby Bottom String Band. And it starts out with this mountain being blown to smithereens. And it's a very...
It's a powerful scene.
It's a powerful scene.
Yeah. You can do all kinds of wonderful things on our website. You can watch all our videos. We have videos on a number of our songs, including Election Year Rag, which happened to be the number 3 song on the folk DJ charts in the month of August. And the other thing you can do is you can purchase our CDs.
Yeah, which, by the way, our CD, Welcome Home, is now up on Bandcamp. And I will put into the chat our how you can contact us via PayPal if you would like to make a donation to us for this show. We would appreciate it. So I'll, when we get down here, I'll slip that in there real quickly. Here we go.
Okay.
Don't blow up the mountain.
Don't blow up the mountain. Don't blow up the mountain. Don't blow up the mountain. Don't blow up the mountain, boys. 'Cause when it's gone, it's gone, it's really gone. When it's gone, it's really gone. West Virginia mountains, air smells so sweet. Up above the tree line, far from the city heat. Twilight falls, the sun sinks low, stars above gently glow. Here we are in paradise, let's open up our eyes. And don't blow up the mountain, don't blow up the mountain, don't blow up the mountain, boys. 'Cause when it's gone, it's gone, it's really gone. When it's gone, it's really gone. God built the mountain, part of his perfect plan. He didn't build the mountain to be blown up by man. We grind the coal, crush the trees, nothing's left but our debris. Muddy river, poison stream, drowning our dreams. So don't blow up the mountain, don't blow up the mountain, don't blow up the mountain, boys. 'Cause when it's gone, it's gone, it's really gone. When it's gone, it's really gone. Jesus on the mountain told us what to do. Love one another, Mother Earth too. Now clouds of dust fill the sky, coal trucks go rolling by. Help us, Lord, we've gone astray, help us find the way. So we don't blow up the mountain, don't blow up the mountain, don't blow up the mountain, boys. 'Cause when it's gone, it's gone, it's really gone. When it's gone, it's really gone. Now we can't undo the damage done. When it's gone, it's really gone. concludes our program. We call this Music for a Better World because we are looking at things that are affecting our world. Unfortunately, mostly negative things at this point. We'll have to write a few positive songs about good things that are going on in the world.
Yes,
That's what we need to do, really.
okay. Just tell them that we're gonna put this information.
So Nell is putting some information in the comments section here about how you might donate to us for the program that you just watched, or go to our website, or both.
And also, if you do watch the show, just let us know in the chat, any
Oh, yeah.
comments or whatever. We'd
Yeah.
love to hear from you.
Yeah, like the show and like the show, as they say on what is that? Oh, YouTube. So we on the song about the immigration issue, meant to say that we actually, rather than being just a couple of gringos presenting something that we knew nothing about, we wrote the song and took the lyrics to an immigrant rights organization that we are familiar with here in Nashville, and presented the words to one of the participants in that program, and he looked at it, and we asked him, hey, is this okay? Does this ring true? Is this real to you? And he said it was. So we got approval from the people that we were actually singing the song about.
Okay.
And on our next concert, which I'm not sure when this is going to happen, but on the next concert, I promise you, we will have more humor. We got into a little bit of humor with Hot Chicken. And in case you were wondering how that fit into Music for a Better World, there was the last verse about the election. And Nell wrote this song in 2016, before the presidential election. So it got quite a bit of airplay and quite a bit of attention at that time. And it was, obviously so fitting for that particular time because there was a lot of anxiety around that election. And the anxiety it's diminished, but it's not left us. We're still kind of in the game here as far as trying to figure out what's gonna happen and how things are gonna go. Is it gonna go to the good side or the not so good side? And we will see. So how's that coming now?
It's good, I just have to keep it, they keep it to so many characters up here.
Okay. Well, you can't have too many characters. That's what I say.
Okay, there we go.
Got
I
no-
had to take a few words out, so maybe the syntax may be a little off here, and what we just posted, but I'm sure you smart people will figure it out.
What's a little syntax between friends?
That's right. Well, that's everything for us, right? We're gonna say,
Yep, we're gonna
Bye.
say good night or good day, however which way you're looking at this.
And
And
like we said, we'd love to hear from you, so please get in touch with
give us
us.
some comments, and you can actually get in touch with us through our website as well, michaelandnell.com. So as Edward R. Morrow used to say in ending his program, good night and good luck.
okay.
There we go. Save it.